Alright guys, what is up? Welcome back to Empyrion Galactic Survival with LD7, and today we're going to be checking out the full Experimental 12 release. It's now at 12.6.2, build 2938. So I haven't played since build 12.3, so it's been a while. There's been quite a few updates, and I believe they've pushed the Experimental to full release now, if I'm not mistaken. So I thought we'd take this opportunity to go ahead and play back through. I didn't want to, well, I actually couldn't continue on with the last game we were playing because as of 12.4, all games prior to that are no longer compatible. So we have to start over. Not a problem though. Love this game and the early game's fun, but in order to make it a little bit different for you, I went into the difficulty settings, and I almost always play on medium, which looks like this. But today I decided we're gonna go ahead and play on hard, just so you can get an idea of what hard difficulty is gonna be like with the changes that they've made through Experimental 12. We're gonna do the Temperate Planet. I was reading through some of the patch notes for the experimental builds, and it sounded like they kind of changed the enemies and the quests and stuff like that if you are on the Temperate Easy Start Planet. So we're gonna go ahead and play this one out. So we're going to go ahead and generate the world while that's going, but kind of the idea with this playthrough, I want to cover some of the changes that have happened since Experimental 12.3. I believe they've kind of reworked the galaxy maps and factions and stuff like that a little bit more than where it was at when I last played, so it should be a little bit different feel, hopefully. Obviously, like, the base game is going to be the same. You know, you go get your iron, copper, silicon, and promethium, then you go out and try to find magnesium and cobalt and all those other things. So we're going to cover all that again just to see, you know, maybe they changed something a little bit here and there that we can highlight, but this is more or less just going to be a hard mode difficulty playthrough with Experimental 12.6.2 as the build. At least starting. It'll probably be updated as we go through this series, so when it does update, I'll be sure to point that out for you guys, that way you know what version we're playing on. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to be back in on Empyrion. We haven't played, or well, I haven't played Empyrion for a little bit. Kind of took a break with Avorion and Mindustry for a little while, so it feels good coming back into probably one of my favorite games ever, which is Empyrion. I mean, I bought this back when it first came out in beta. You know, shoot, it's probably close to 10 years now, maybe not quite that long. But I've had this game for a really long time. I got back into it when I first started recording for the YouTube channel, so that first playlist of Empyrion, that's when I got back into the game, and I was really happy with the changes they made because it felt a little bit more of a complete game than it did when I first played in beta. But anyway guys, this is always the same. You've got your escape pod that you get to steer a little bit and blah blah blah. We're gonna try, I think, to land in between these little guys here, if we can, because, yeah, that might be good. We can get steel pretty quick, so we'll see what happens here. It looks like space takes you to the ground. Good. Crash. Awesome. So that's pretty standard. I mean, you always crash land on the game, unless you're playing one where you start out with more stuff, but we're gonna go in here. Yeah, I don't really care. We're gonna skip the tutorials because I don't really need it, but I do want to keep these guys on hand. We'll put this in here. We'll probably carry around the heater as well, and we'll use the tent so we can skip the night and all that good stuff. But we are low on health, so we'll go ahead, use a health pack, and we are pretty low on food, so we'll eat some food, and that will kind of get us ready to go. So let's go ahead, ping our detector, and see what's around. So it looks like there's spider stuff over there, but what I'm really interested in is the resources. So we're going to head over off in this direction, and yeah, that's the plan. We might grab some plants along the way, just because plants are A, good source of food if you get those plant proteins like that, and B, it also helps give you some experience as well. So with this, you want to start grinding the levels and resources and all that jazz pretty much right away. I'm not going to waste time with these shitty rocks here because I mean, if we find a copper ore deposit, it's going to be worth just walking there. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so there is iron. We found the damaged hover bike is over here. There's another resource deposit this way. So we'll probably end up with... This will either be copper or silicon, and then the one that's a little bit farther away on the right will be the other resource. So normally they land you in a spot that has all three resources pretty close by, just because you don't have any means of transit right out of the gate. So we're gonna go over here and see. So there are some baddies over there. We'll well, actually we maybe won't attack them, because I believe they nerfed the little defense laser here, so it doesn't damage quite as well. So there's our silicon, and then last but not least, this will probably be the copper, so we'll go over there and grab that too. Hopefully these guys leave us alone. I don't know. I can't remember if those ones are actually aggressive or not, or maybe, you know, like, you have to start attacking them, or have a weapon drawn or something. I don't know. But it's fine. They didn't seem to attack us. Or if they're trying to attack us, they aren't catching up with us, so fine either way. So kind of what the plan is, I know we've already covered, you know, like mining and setting up a base and all that noise, so I'm probably not going to cover all that content. More or less, like, it's going to be updates along the way and everything. Something I did want to point out, just because it's worth mentioning, in hard mode, it takes longer to level up, these go down faster, and a bunch of other things. So it should be a little bit more challenging, I'm hoping, than our last playthrough. Even though, you know, you can breathe the atmosphere on this planet and you couldn't on the other one. I didn't really want to mess with the whole, you know, non-breathable atmosphere start, just for the first time I play hard mode. Simply because, you know, if oxygen goes down faster, I know from the last game we were playing that oxygen becomes a problem really fast. So we're going to hop out in our drone, get some copper, and then we'll probably wrap this up at that. So we're back in Empyrion. We're going to go ahead and continue on with the new game, whatever. But yeah, I know that you guys seem to have enjoyed the last game or the last series I made covering the experimental builds as they were coming out, so this is the full release of it now, or the most recent large update just came out. There's like, I want to say 150, 160 megabytes worth of stuff had to update before I could play. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty decent size, you know, for just a single update. So I'm excited. I'm hoping they put a lot of goodies inside of those megs of file storage. That way we have some new things to do. We're probably going to focus on doing the quest lines a little bit more this playthrough as well, just because I know we started kind of doing the Polaris missions and got our way through most of those, but I actually want to play through the missions for like the Talon, and I think they added some more factions too, so I think the questing and the mission lines is primarily what's been expanded. We will find out, obviously, as we go forward, but we finally hit the copper ore. We're going to mine that out and start building up our resources and levels. That way we can go ahead, get a base put down, get some weapons, get all geared out, and start, you know, doing some missions. With that, guys, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe as always. If you want to watch, you know, like a full Empyrion content, there are other series on my channel. They just aren't in hard mode or experimental 12.6.2, but be sure to check them out either way. With that, guys, this has been LD7, and until next time, we will see ya.